Well, hello there. My name is Jay with ServerMatter and also with CompuMatter. And the first thing I would like to do is to thank you for making the decision to invest in a ServerMatter server. I am personally grateful, and as is our staff. The purpose of this video is to take some of the mystery out of what happens next. You've made the decision to buy it. That's great. And there's a lot of unknown unknowns, and it's, as they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's our job to incrementally get the information we need from you and walk you through this process so that it's as user-friendly a process as it can possibly be. And frankly, that's my goal. That's this model. I want to bring these servers to what I would define as the unserved, which is the majority of small to medium-sized businesses who are overwhelmed by this process, and I aim to make it a lot easier for you. So there's two phases to this process. Phase one is the intelligence gathering, where our company works with your company to learn about, where does your data live, your router configuration, your IP addresses, your staff information, and a variety of other things that we'll need to be more intimate about in order to set up the server to do the best job it can for your business in advance of installing it. The second phase will, of course, be the physical installation of your server. Now, I don't know if you're having your own staff install this server, your own IT people, if you're not in our area, or if you're having us do the installation of your server. Either way, we're going to provide you an idea of what that looks like in a separate video. This video, we're going to talk about the pre-installation phase and what you can expect for the ongoing dialogue for us to get your server ready. So without any more words from me, let's put that to-do list in front of me so I can read it to you. We can walk through it together. And by the way, this documentation has been prepared on one of our wikis, which you'll have with the server. We use it every day. Okay, onboarding, what to expect, server preparation phase. Picking a domain name for your server. Our server's name is CompuMatter.biz. Your server name will likely be whatever your current company name is, whatever you want it to be. So, if it's, abccompany.com, it might be abc.company.biz. So that domain name has to be purchased. It's $12 a year or something like that, and it gives your server access from the outside world. That domain name will also be used internally at different times, but mainly it's so that the server can be accessed from the outside world. So we'll educate you on that process. You don't need to get too much into it right now, but you are going to have to pick a unique domain name. Knowing your existing network's IP range. So, 192.168.whatever, you're probably familiar with an IP address. Well, every device on your network has one. Some of them you don't want to change. The printers, you want them to be predictable so your employees can continue to get to them after the server is installed. Well, the server is going to be the one responsible for handing out those IP addresses where currently your router is. So that's going to change a little bit once this happens. So we need to know what needs to be reached. Again, there's going to be a video on this. There's going to be a video on the domain name part of it. A very nice user-friendly walkthrough on this. This video is just to kind of give you a view from the top of this first phase. Questions about your server's domain. Not to be confused with this domain name for your server. It's really a different thing. A domain, as we describe it here, is that secure lockdown of your server environment that ensures people can log in and have access to only the folders you want them to. The computer might be on a domain, and that way, if they've lost their password, the domain administrator can reset it from the server itself. They can add new employees. They can assign those employees to have rights to certain files and folders and all that kind of stuff. That's an overview, a little bit of what a domain in this context is. A lot of times you'll have it referred to as an Active Directory environment. From the Microsoft side, same thing. and we'll talk about that. We're going to, again, provide you a video, gives you some background on what that is, and allows you to make some decisions on what you want to do with that. Qualifying what kind of router serves your business and if it's suitable. So, for instance, if your router is being provided to you by your internet service provider, whoever that might be, and you don't have your own business router, our advice is going to be for you to get a business class router. Because if you ever change internet service providers, you don't want your entire network to crash because, well, maybe one day your internet went down and the internet service provider says you need a new router. They drop a new one on you and all the settings inside of it are gone. You can't have that happen. So we're going to talk a little bit about that router. And again, got a video. We'll cover all that with you. Questions about data. The names of the parent folders that contain your company data. Basically, where does your data even live? Whose computer is it on? Is it even in your facility? Is it on a cloud? Is it both? It can be, sometimes we've had companies where they've got data on many computers in an organization, and we need to get an idea of how that's structured and what of that data do you want to move to the server and protect there so that it's centrally located and centrally backed up every day. Let's see, how much data do you currently have? That's going to be important. I mean, we know what the average business might have. There are exceptions to that rule, and if it turns out you've got some gargantuan amount of data, you may need slightly larger hard drives in order to accomplish the goal. We'll take inventory of that. We'll send you videos on all of this with tools that you can use to make it easy for you to ascertain some of these things. Questions about your staff. We're going to need to know their names, first and last, their occupation, or title, and of all the staff members that will be using the server, their contact information. And the reason we need all that is not for us, it's for you, so that when you are accessing a staff member for any reason and you need their contact information, the server has that. When a staff member is using a software product within the server and they want to send an email out to somebody else, their email is already in the return side, or their phone number is already there, or whatever the case. That's part of setting up the server in the best possible way. All of that information is there for the owner or manager of the business to utilize however they see fit. And armed with that information, once we have all that, we begin the process of actually installing the software in the server. Okay, so that gives you a view from the top of what phase 1 is going to be like. And if you have already provided us payment, you will be receiving the first video, which is about the domain name, in the coming 1 or 2 days after payment. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this informative, and you can be looking forward to a lot more of these videos in the near future. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.